conversation that I tell you what, y'all, I hope you're going to just love it. It is so pure. It is so, so good. So, so good. We talk about yoga and faith. We talk about yoga and family. We talk about yoga and confidence, yoga and peace, yoga and entrepreneurship, meditation, all the things. Seriously, I cannot tell you how much the spirits connected in this conversation. Yeah, spirit called Kim Quan and spirit called Chantra Powell. She is a lovely, lovely young woman who I had the privilege of sharing a great experience with and calling her friend and even calling her my little now. So I'm sharing this with you. I hope that you just soak it up. And I hope you follow her on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I don't know if you are or not. And I want to hear from you. This is a good one. Enjoy. Hey, Kim.
Hello.
I'm so excited for this conversation with you. I tell you what, this has been a long time coming. How many times have we been like, this date, no, this date, no, this date, no, this date?
Yeah, it's like rooting somebody down. That's hard.
Rooting. And there she is. There we go. My yoga teacher buddy, right to the core, rooting. So
let's go.
yeah, let's go. That's right on. So, I was inspired, as you know, these conversations come up for me in a very organic fashion. I guess, it would be really cool to sit down with the list and start saying, I want to talk to this person and this person and this person about these things. But that's not my story. And perhaps that goes very nicely with Proven Not Perfect. For me, it's about the connections and it's about the interactions and it's about the impromptu moments. And when I'm meeting with my Village of All-Stars in person and we're mashing up, I get inspired. Like there's a conversation that we need to have and share with others because I believe others might learn something, maybe be inspired, maybe dispel a myth, maybe think about something a little bit differently that may serve them. And so that's where this one was, right? So I'll just share with you, this, right? There's this huge movement around yoga as a great add to our health routines, right? Maybe worldwide, it is probably the activity that is catching by storm worldwide, right? And I actually don't know if it's yoga that begets like the activewear industry or if it's the activewear industry that found yoga, right? But the yoga pants are hot and flowing, right? The yoga pants. So maybe, just maybe, somebody who has an activewear brand, and I think you know one of them, maybe just said, right? So the more yoga goes on, the more like yoga pants we sell. I don't know. Regardless, and of course I would go there because, I'm the business geeky gal. But regardless of that, there's sites popping up, there are new locations. I think there's even expanded types of yoga that are just on the rise. So you and I met when I did a thing.
A crazy
thing in the midst of madness in the boardroom of a corporation. I decided that I was going to moonlight and get a yoga teacher training. What? And
that was a good time.
Oh my God, it was a great time.
That's a good time.
It was different. So let me ask you this. Yoga teacher training, why did you do it? And was it what you expected it to be?
It was not what I expected it to be. I did it. Truthfully, I feel like I got peer pressured into it. And it was like the best peer pressuring from multiple people. Because I had no desire to do training. I was like, I'm good with going to the studio and practicing with my friends, meeting people. Like I had no desire. And I think the people that like pressured me into it, that's the word I use, I think they saw something in me that I wasn't seeing. Or maybe when I would walk into the studio my fiance calls me a social butterfly. It was just
Yes, you
kind of
are.
like, I, like a high circle, like 360, like who's around me? Can I say hi? Do they look approachable? I don't care. I'll say hi anyway. And so maybe, some of the teachers saw that. And so that's why I did it. And it was intense.
Yes, it was.
I'm,
And
like,
intense,
I'm,
intense in different ways than
yes,
you expect. So,
physically intense. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
I was exhausted. I was like, I can't move my fingers.
yes, yes. And then I'm going to add the layer of mental intensity too.
It was a lot to shift. Like you were constantly shifting from one thing, learning one thing to the other,
Yeah,
figuring out like who you were going to be that day or what. I don't, it was a lot to take on.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you felt that way.
I did. I did. I would say it. So I believe I was constantly me, but I think that the journey of intensity physically matching with the mental was unpacking um, unpacking what was going on within myself, right? So what would lead me to coexist in two different places? Coexist in a corporate boardroom and a yoga teacher training, 5-month experience, right? And I figured out that it was this particular experience where many things kind of collided together, things that I had thought to have mastered. And, on the direct application of a skill set, absolutely I'd mastered it, check. But it was the pieces beneath that. It was the why you do what you do. It was the how you show up. It was the navigating when situations are not always what they appear to be on the surface, right? The extra politics that go with the thing, right? That's where, for me, walking into the yoga teacher training process really gave me pause to stop and sort of say, okay, how am I showing up there? Who am I showing up as? And how do I want to show up? Who do I want to show up as? And so I think it's the one thing, honestly, probably 25 years later, that made me a better business leader. I learned how to sit in the thick of stuff just because.
Just because.
Mm-hmm.
I think I felt I left there feeling more empowered by myself. Like nobody can rob me of me empowering myself. And then
Yes.
I was like, I need to share this empowerment with other people.
Wow.
I think I'm honestly still like navigating truly to my core. Like I think deep down I know who Kim is, but I'm still like ever changing, ever growing.
Yeah.
And I'm
As
still
am I. As
navigating.
am I.
I'm
Right?
still navigating. Like you
Yeah.
show up so different. I'm still navigating that part that I think teacher training started for me. That I'm still doing the work.
Wow. I love that. So am I. But I think what it does is it puts you in this path of truly living life as a student.
Yes.
We say it. I thought I said it. I said it for years, right? I'm
Uh,
always learning. I'm continuously learning. I'm all about learning, but I'm never going to stop learning. But I think that experience really, really put me in a mindset of constantly being available to learn new things, to hear different perspectives, to sit with things that I don't necessarily agree with and don't understand, and not judge it, but to hear it and to make space for it. And then to choose to put, my values and lens to say it's okay. It's okay that that exists. and it's okay that this is my truth, right? And yeah, I think that was one of the big things for me. Mm-hmm.
Now, I agree with that. Like, I think we align there very well.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. So there's a debate that goes back and forth about yoga and its origin and how that lines up with us who consider ourselves women of faith, right?
Mm.
In particular, Christianity. I know that, I've met people on my path that feel really strongly that yoga is anti-Christianity. And I've met people on my path that say it's just exercise and it doesn't have to be anything at all beyond that. Take a stretch called down dog in yoga is the same thing, stretch in like a normal stretching situation, right? So, I know you're a woman of faith. Where do you land on that? What is yoga? Is it like a religion, or is it exercise, or is it something totally different?
That's such a good question. That's such a good one. To me, it it's almost like everything. I'm not limited to it. But I remember when I first started teaching, and this has stayed to my core. We all have gods,
Mhm.
and like my God is Jesus. That's my God, and I think I I have him
Mhm.
always as
Yes.
a business partner, and
Yes.
I take his word.
Yes.
Maybe not word for word. I might not say things word for word scripturally
Yeah.
in my classes.
Girl,
I think,
I don't know. I mean, right? But I think that's a lived
yeah,
experience, right? It's in me. And I
it's
say
in
all the
me.
things, but I might not, unless I have my handy phone, I might not get the exact verse right. But I'm gonna tell you the verse.
Exactly. And I think you can bring that in. I want to meet people where they're at. I don't want to like,
Yes. You don't want to be off-putting.
no, you don't want
No.
to be off putting. They've come here for a yoga class. And in our world of
Yeah.
living here,
Yeah.
it's like you have to meet people and build this relationship before you go like all in.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think like can be very spiritual. It doesn't
Yes.
necessarily have to be like religious, but I think it can be very spiritual to a
Yes.
lot of people. And I think it can also be a form of moving your body out of the love for your body, maybe not like this intense workout, but it might get there or it might become that, but you're still moving your body out of the love for your body
Mm,
with also just like the foundational factor that I teach, knowing, like my mom would always say, sit in your car, ask God what you want these people. Like you will say the right things as long as you are being, you feel like you're being used by him. If you're open enough to sit down in your car and say, God, what do you want me to tell these people? Because I would
mm,
always tell my mom, I have no idea. It was my yoga lab teaching days when nothing would resonate with me. Well, not nothing, but almost, things didn't really resonate with me. And I said, I I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like this is not coming from a place of truth for me. And she would just like sit in your car, say a prayer, whatever you say to these people, God wants somebody in this room to hear. And I've been teaching that way ever since. Maybe, not the longest prayers, but
yes.
you
But you
know,
know what? I love you framing it this way. Two things. One, I hear you speak about the responsibility that you take for the profession, the role, right, of yoga teacher. Um, I don't think that's any different than the responsibility that I may take as a business leader, or somebody else may take, as a teacher or in an academic setting, or right. But it's having respect for that profession and the responsibility that goes along with it, and then it's being willing and being open to meet people where they are.
That's what Jesus did.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
So when somebody that is from the church, or when they ask me that, I said, this is the work. I,
Yes.
it might not look like how you want it to look,
Yeah.
or you might have like a million contradicting things, and I see it's almost coming back to, like, I see your belief and I see everything. I'm willing to listen. Like,
Yeah.
I know in, like, deep in my heart, like, I have no like guilt. Like,
Yeah.
I have no conviction about this. And I
Yeah.
think if there was
And I
like
really did explore it. Did you? I mean, I feel like, because there were times, so the reality is, and I think we both realize this, not everybody approaches it from a position of a shared faith and belief as ours. However, most people are choosing yoga, one, to move their body, but also to just get still and silent and centered. Those are all things that I do every morning before I choose to do my devotion and my reading and my prayer. It's the same thing I do every night, right? Those same things: center, stillness, before I do my prayer, my devotion, my reading. And that's a good thing. What you choose to meditate on when you're in the process of breathing is a personal experience. And I think it builds from what's actually in you, because for me, it's all about my treasured faith and my treasured belief. And so when I close my eyes and sit still for the very first time, some days, after a crazy running around doing all the thing, laying on a mat, and I breathe and I listen to my breath, and I start to clear my mind and then bring to mind the things I'm grateful for, the prayers, the centering, the love, all those things, right? So yeah, I think that's actually very interesting that you approach it that way. So have you how have you grown? Like, how would you say you've grown merging this path, this profession together with who you were before?
I think, and I hope I've grown.
Oh gosh, of course.
Sometimes like, I feel like sometimes you're in the thick of it, but
Yeah.
well, I feel like when I'm in the thick of it, or I'm in a moment of, like, uh, a lot of things happening, I'm like, what was I doing before this?
Yes.
I forget. I'm like, this has been part of my life forever, but it hasn't. I was before yoga was in my life, and I'll speak it from a yoga standpoint. Like, we'll start there. I was mentoring young girls in my church. I was specifically high school, like middle school, high school girls, like girls that are so close to my age, like, who, so close, but it was so unique because I feel like that has carried on to who I want to teach to now, like my audience. I realized that I don't want to teach to people that are maybe kind of like younger generation, maybe like older generation. Like, I think I work really well. My cat is meowing. I'm so sorry. I work really well. Like, I want to teach to the people that are, in therapy, the people that are 20s, 30s. I feel like those are the people that I can mentor to. It's almost this.
Yes.
It's like I've shifted where I was, but I'm doing the same thing in a different way.
Mhm.
And yoga is that form. Yoga is the tool now that I'm using. And I think I'm, sometimes I'm like, God, was this your plan? Like, was this what you truly wanted me to do? Because, you know, I was sure that I was going to be a missionary.
Wow.
I
Oh
love to
my
travel.
God.
I love to travel. I love
I
to
so
travel.
see that.
And I went on so many missionary trips when I was, established with a church. And even when I was in my teens, I would go on like different town, like, close by trips because I couldn't really travel overseas or like international. And now I'm like that connected, or maybe like in my mind, I was thinking, I want to be an international yoga teacher.
Oh my God.
So I think he's using me in a way that I
Yes.
still love, but it's just different. And I think I'm hopefully I'm just continuing to grow closer to him, and hopefully it'll grow me in the right direction. Like I'll grow in the direction, but I feel like I'm happy. The opportunities that have come my way that have helped me grow. So many things.
They push you out of your comfort zone, don't
Yes.
they? So there's one in particular, right? Do I dare mention the brand that you get the privilege of being an ambassador for? I mean, what? I mean, Lululemon, seriously, you're a brand ambassador for Lululemon. And if you're ever in Southwest Florida, Naples area, she's plastered all over the wall. You're probably plastered all over every Lululemon wall if they're smart because you're beautiful. Yes.
Wow.
But did that push you out of your comfort zone?
I was shocked to my core. I was like, who do these people think I am? Like, I'm not this.
But that's the thing, you are. And that's that humility that makes all these things come to existence. And I think it's also the humility that you speak about when you choose to show up in the classroom after you've gotten the assignment, right? Like straight from above, get the assignment, show up in the classroom. I choose to be the same way as a corporate leader.
Wow.
Get the assignment, show up at the work. Get the assignment, show up in the meeting.
Yes.
Probably gets tired of me all day. He does not get tired of me getting the assignment. But the point is, I think there's something really, really, really cool about that. Okay, so tell me about meditation and tell us about how meditation is either an integral part of yoga or a cousin to yoga, or how do you think about meditation, and is that something that folks should feel pressured to be able to do? Because I've talked to good friends who are like, they believe that they need to meditate more than anything in the world because their mind is going so fast. But how the heck do you sit still if you've got 1,000 things going on? You've got a bazillion kids, you've got a bazillion responsibilities, and you're trying to sit still and clear your mind. How does that happen? So what are your thoughts on meditation?
My thoughts is that it can literally be anything that that we need to kind of think outside the box on meditation.
Ooh, tell me more about that.
I feel like we're like, my space has to be clear, and I have to sit here, and I have to, which do it at this time, which consistency is great. It kind of gets you into this, like, almost like going to the gym at the same time or waking up at the same time. But we're so harsh. I think we're so harsh on ourselves when it comes to meditation. And there's so many different types. There's like walking meditation. I personally enjoy breathwork meditation and the stillness and peace, that kind of gateway. It's like a gateway into a deeper meditation. So I don't think that.
That's my favorite too, breath.
Right.
For sure. Because I
There's
don't need somebody telling me that light is flowing from the sky to your crown of your head. Like, okay, not picking on it. Right? But I mean, if that's your jam, that's your jam. I love it. But I find myself thinking, I don't really see the light flowing from the top of the sky down to the
or I don't see these crystals healing me, baby.
I don't see these crystals
like,
doing no.
I know. That's like a whole nother.
Yeah. So I respect that. Hey, that's your jam. But for me,
exactly.
I just need to tap into my breath, because actually sometimes before I sit down with intention of meditation, I literally realize within a second that I've been holding my breath or breathing at the top of my diaphragm probably for most of the day.
Yeah. Same. exactly the same. Like, wow, I'm breathing high and short and heavy. Like nothing is moving down my body.
Oh,
Yes,
and
nothing.
if it's
Everything's.
not moving, then it's like, I think the thing that I start to realize is that trap breath that is trapped like up at the top and not being pushed and moved down is almost a metaphor for something even flowing through my body in a healthy way, right?
I agree. Like something is sticky or like doesn't want to go away or holding on to something. But to meditation, I would say yes, if you're practicing yoga, I think there's some form of mental like lostness or like you're mentally ease because your mind is made like this brain is made to be full of flowing like you're meant to be thinking, like this is what the brain is for. So I think like the we just have this stigma around meditation that I think if you want to meditate, find something that works for you. Like I said, walking meditation, like even breathwork meditation. You can even, just hold child's pose and meditate there. Cooking meditation. These are just all techniques or forms of meditation. It doesn't have to be sitting, which I mean, sometimes it's nice to be still, like you were saying, just to be still and
Which is
know,
a scripture, by the way, Psalms
which
46.
is a which is a scripture. We gotta give, the credit where it's due.
Still, be still. I love that. So it's the one that literally has not let me go since 2020. All right. So if somebody is listening and they want to try yoga and around them, they walk in and they're all kind of places where, maybe they are very clear about what's acceptable and not acceptable for them, for their faith, right? How do you guide them to know if it's a place that might suit them, right? So, do you have any cues that make you feel comfortable in a yoga environment that you might share with somebody? Or, yeah, what would you say?
Like if they came up to me and like share their faith before class
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
and like
And just kind of said, okay, so I live in Oklahoma and I do believe that yoga would be very useful for me because I need the flexibility and I need the stretching and I do need the breathing and the release and all of that. But I don't want to show up and have chanting around me, words that I don't understand. I don't want to, right? So you tell people get over it and just do it, or do you say, you know what I mean? Or do you say that it's like anything else? You got to find a place that suits you. Not everywhere is going to suit you. Like I think of it as church, right?
I think of it as everything where you shop, where you go to the grocery store. Like, not everywhere is going to suit you.
Yeah.
Like,
And it doesn't make that
financially.
wrong, right? But it says it doesn't suit me.
I would say, you know what? Thank you for coming to a class because I think yoga should be welcoming. I think you should feel included no matter who you are. And I think the teacher is the person. I think we as yoga teachers hold that. We should be able to make someone feel, and it might not be even with your words. It might just be a smile and just kind of like your aura of how you are, how you walked into to the room, or people can feel your energy and they will remember your energy that you have. And yeah, you might chant, you might own, and you might do an awful sequence. But if they felt welcomed and included and like some sort of belonging, I think they'll come back. Who
Wow.
wouldn't come back if they felt that way?
I love that. I think that's right on. And I think that that is the way to answer my devil's advocate question, right? I'm just kind of throwing out the ones that I hear all the time. I think you're right. I think at the core, what drew me to yoga so many years ago as a balance in my life was that I could show up, not say a word to anybody, get on my mat, get still, contemplate what was going on in my mind, move my body, move whatever was stuck out of it, and leave, right? And then there are other times where I show up and it's like, meeting with my best friend before we start because we click and we talk and, all the things, right? And that serves me. But it's not one size fits all, and it's not the same all the time. We're not the same all the time. And we have different starting points, different ending points. But the point of the matter is we all can benefit and get something out of it if we open ourselves up.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right
That's
on.
that's the hardest part.
Yeah. I'm done being devil's advocate. Okay, so I have a question for you, because you are a businesswoman. Have built a yoga business. How's
That
it?
is so funny. You're like, when somebody says that to me, I'm like, what do they see? Because I don't see it. Like, yes, I'm honestly, I I'm on that road to hopefully create something more than just me. But you're not the only person. I get DMs from people on Instagram saying, I love seeing your business thrive. I'm like, damn, I don't have a business.
Yes, you do. Oh
It's
my
my
God.
mind.
Tim, you've got to receive that and you've got to claim it, because you do. You have a business. My gosh, if nothing else, you're an influencer for Lululemon. Okay, let's just start there. But even before they recognized your brilliance, you single-handedly identified an opportunity to get out there and to build a clientele that's national, growing to international. And you're thinking about it through different mode. And you're making revenue. You are a businesswoman. That's the definition, my dear.
I'm gonna add that to my Instagram profile.
Hello, yes, entrepreneur. But I'll tell you this. Here's what I think. And it's kind of what we said. When you seem to be so just in a lane that is flowing for you, that it probably doesn't even feel like work.
Very little moments. It feels that way.
Yeah.
And
So
then I remember I have God on my side. He's the best business partner one can have.
that's right. And I think if you go with that philosophy, you'll be in the lane that you're supposed to be in, and it won't feel like work.
I
Right?
hope it never feels like work.
Yeah.
I think there's a sort of, like dedication and love that is required of me, to consistently be both creative and like logistically, financially, both people. Like, how do people do this? I'm very creative when it comes to like the other parts. I I would be giving away free classes. This is me. My friend. I was with my
Not
friend.
do that.
I was literally. She had to like give me a talk. And I was like crying. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, this is just who I am to make. And she's
No,
like, no,
I will stay close to you. No, 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 no giving it
yes.
away.
And she was telling me, are you getting paid for this? I said, no. And then I would talk about something else I would be doing. No, I'm not getting paid for this. No, I'm doing this free class. I'm also doing another free class. And she's like, when do you get paid? I said, it doesn't feel wrong, but it feels, I guess I haven't built up that full like network of myself. Like, I don't really know that people will pay you, or I'm worth being paid for,
Yes.
or hired on. And I do, I have private clients, and I see that completely different for some reason. But when it comes to community classes,
Yes.
doing things in that way, I find it really hard to get people to pay me.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I think that again, your generous spirit, right? And I mean, there are things that we all do for the community that we don't get paid for, right? I serve on 3 nonprofit boards, right? So I pay them. They don't pay me. Right?
That's what I would be doing.
Right? Right? So that, that really gets you. But I do I get paid in spades because I am impacting whatever that organization is and the reach that they're doing, right? It's huge. I'm on an arts board, I'm on an education board, and I'm on a community
Wow.
foundation. And all of them bring me so much joy, so much happiness, and contribute to things that are vital, important to me and my values, right? I also serve on some paid board, but the point of the matter is, I don't think everything needs to have a price tag on it to reap great reward for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. All right, my girl. Last
All
question
right.
for you. Last
Oh my
question.
gosh. Last
Who do
question.
you
Okay.
see yourself becoming?
Hmm. I've always had this big dream of being a mom.
Mm,
And I would love to be a mom very, very, very soon. Juan and I, Juan, he just had a birthday and we went to Miami, went to the zoo, and there were so many kids, like the perfect Saturday afternoon, take your kid to Zoo Miami. And there's so many of them walking around, and we've had the conversation. And his family, they would absolutely, both of our families would be thrilled to find out, that I'm pregnant. And I told him, like, yes, like I've been wanting to be a mom forever, but like we need to get married.
yes,
We need to
yes,
get married. Come on.
yes. Well, you're
Uh,
engaged. You're
I'm
engaged.
engaged.
Yes.
There's just this feeling of that has had its time, and now we're moving, like we're just continuing to move forward. But that would be that, and Beyonce's yoga teacher. But
All right, B. Do you hear her? Kim
Beyonce, where
Kwan's
are you?
waiting for you. She's got a hot track and she's going to work you out. Girl, so if someone hears this anywhere in the world, and they would like to work with you as a private client, how do they reach you? Instagram, or what's the best way?
Instagram is perfect. That's honestly, I'm on there way too much to admit, but that would be the number one route. I'm like here or there on Facebook, but hopefully, yeah, Instagram, because I do online. Would love to meet you online. I think I've opened up myself to online, and I think people that are in that same, that feel the same way about online work or meditation or breath work or yoga. Uh, I'm those people, the ones that are just like, I don't know about online. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to connect. I'm your girl because I feel the same way. And somehow it works. Like
Well,
when
they
both
can
parties.
probably already hear that they'll connect with you because you just have such a wonderful spirit about you.
Yeah, but IG is perfect. Or if in person, come find me. I'm always at Kanjani with
Awesome.
Chandra.
Yeah, we do end up there a lot together for
We
sure.
do. Yeah, that's
But I,
always
for
our
real,
place.
I know for a fact that the listeners for the podcast are all over, literally all over the world. I think the last stats that I looked at touched just about every continent. So
Wow.
that's God, right? That's God. And it also goes similar to what you said, right? When you do something because you're led to do it, and you know that when you show up, you are flowing and doing all the things that you're supposed to do, you know that it's what you're supposed to do, right? And at least one of the things. So look, this is amazing. I know some folks are going to reach out to you. It's Kim Quan on Instagram.
On Instagram. So my Instagram handle is at Ninja Quan. This just ties back to my mixed martial arts days, and people have been bribing me to change my Instagram name to Kimchi, to a whole bunch of names. I should take a poll.
I
What should I
love
change my name to? I have a
That,
question for you. I have a question for you,
yeah, go ahead.
if that's okay.
Shoot.
Okay, what would you like? What are like three golden nuggets you would give me an advice right now as to like where I'm at? You've seen me grow, I think, so much.
Yes. Oh my God. Three nuggets that I would give you. One, I would say, see what you're seeing and believe it. What I mean by that is you hold up the mirror and you're seeing exactly what others see. We're drawn to you. We want to see you be successful. We want to support your business. We call it a business, all of us, even before you do. We are placing you as an ambassador and an influencer for global brands. See what you see and believe it. That's huge, right? Okay, so that's the first one.
Hmm.
The second would be rev up with no regrets. I think you are so generous with your compassion for others. That's probably why you're doing all these events and not getting paid.
Sounds
but
about right.
but rev up, right? Like, especially now, it's time. And if you can't do it for yourself, do it for those future babies that are going to be running around the next time we do this, right? Or maybe not the next,
Right.
but the time after that, right? Do it for them, right? Like that wonderful trick that we can do sometimes for ourselves as women, where we do the hard thing for us to do, thinking about others who we love, because we can't do it for ourselves, whether that's negotiating a salary, right?
Hmm.
Whether it's negotiating a new client or a job or a position or whatever. A lot of times we lose our voice the minute it becomes advocating for ourselves and for something more for ourselves, right? So rev up thinking about those babies that are coming, right? You would want them to have an amazing legacy of all the things, and they won't have it if you don't get out of their way and
So
start
true.
revving up. And the last thing I would say is never lose that sweet, sensitive spirit to the Holy Spirit, and keep bringing Jesus to the world. Keep him as the board chair and the CEO, and take him to unsuspecting places where people will question and challenge, but show up with him, because that's what he wants us to do. He wants us to go to these challenging places that people may question and all the things, but he wants us to show up with him. And people see that light and they're drawn to it. And then they know him.
Mhm. They know him.
Mhm.
And they would have never, yeah,
I
had
am
the
honored that you
opportunity.
would ask me to share with you three nuggets.
I hold you so high in my life and personally.
You're
And
one of my littles. You are one of my littles. You're stuck with me. So we're gonna actually circle back and be like, all right, next time we are Kanjani, what are we doing to rev up, girl?
what are we doing? Yes,
See what
we're
they're
gonna
seeing
rev
and
up.
believe it. See what they're seeing and believe it. I love you, Kim.
All good. I love you. Thank you for that. And I really needed to hear every word.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
more. There's more.
Okay.
Okay.
Love the conversation. Love the conversation.
Oh, thank you for blessing me with your time.
Of
I'll see you
course.
soon.
I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
So was that so good? Tell the truth. It was so good. Like, if you are not in the flow right now, ready to get in the flow, figure out the flow, man, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, one of the things that that talk reminds me of is how important it is to surround yourself with people that will pour into you the words that you need at a moment's notice, right? So important to have a safe circle, so important to have those words, because we are all striving to get to that next thing all the time. And many times we are hard on ourselves in the journey. And that's the piece that we just gotta stop, right? We just gotta cut that out. I don't know how you do it, but we gotta do it. And I think it starts with surrounding yourself with positive forces who push you forward when you wanna lean back into good things, who sometimes pull you back when you need to be pulled back for good reasons, right? Yeah. So that's it. That's all. I just wanted to give another shout out to Kim Quan, and many blessings to her. And I hope you enjoyed this. So let me hear from you. Proven Not Perfect. You can find me on Instagram, Chantra_Proven Not Perfect, or you can email me on the website, from the website, ProvenNotPerfect.com. And if you are enjoying this community, give me a thumbs up, a shout out, let me know. I hear from you. I'm excited too. There's some exciting ideas that I'm brewing, and I'd love to hear that you're down for hearing about more. All right, take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, whatever you're doing. Bye.